It is said that long ago, there was a generous merchant whom God had blessed with great wealth. He never left a needy person without giving him from what God had granted, and he continued this way until the poor and the destitute heard about him. They began crowding at his door, waiting for his return so he could help them and fulfill their needs. This did not remain limited to the poor of his own village only. Soon, the needy from neighboring villages also came to him. His wife, however, was not pleased with what he was doing. She asked him to stop wasting his wealth and to limit his giving only to the needy of their own village. But he replied, "I fear that my Lord will ask me why I did not give to the poor and the needy from what he entrusted me with." His wife said to him, "If you continue in this way, it won't be long before we ourselves become like them." This time the merchant did not respond to his wife, but he raised his hands to the sky and prayed, "O Allah, help me to do good, and do not let your blessings upon me be cut off." Days passed, and the merchant began to spend more than he earned, until the day came when his money was gone. He closed his shop and had nothing left. One day he thought to himself, "My wife was right. If I had not spent and given in this way, I would not have ended up like this." But suddenly, he stopped thinking in that manner, sought forgiveness from God, and said, "I must never regret doing good. Even if I had only 1 dirham left, I would spend it." After the merchant became a poor man, he had no choice but to work as a shepherd. Despite the poverty and hardship, he never regretted a single act of kindness. His wife, however, scolded him constantly for his foolishness and for what had become of them. One day she said to him, "We have become just like the poor people you used to pity." He replied, "We still have our health, and that is more important than money." She mocked him, saying, "What matters to me is that you find a way to provide food and clothing, or I will leave this house. I cannot bear poverty." Despite her harsh words, the husband did not become angry with her. He was a kind man and forgave her, knowing that she had become accustomed to a life of wealth and comfort. As for him, he had known poverty since childhood, which is why he sympathized with the poor, and wealth had never changed his nature. One day, while tending his flock, a fire broke out in the forest. He saw a small snake trying to escape the flames. Moved with pity, he rushed into the fire and saved it. To his surprise, the snake spoke to him and thanked him. Astonished, he asked, "Who are you?" The snake replied, "I am the daughter of the king of the Jinn. I am not truly a snake as you think, and I must reward you." She took him to the kingdom of the Jinn. When the king of the Jinn saw him, he thanked him for saving his daughter and said, "We cannot reward you with money, for we do not possess it. But we will grant you the ability to understand the language of animals. However, you must never reveal this secret to anyone. If you do, your punishment will be death." The merchant agreed. The king of the Jinn blew into his ears and said, "Now you will be able to hear the speech of animals and know secrets no human could imagine. But never let them know you understand them, for they may fear and harm you. Keep this secret in your heart." Suddenly, everything disappeared, and he found himself again among his flock. He thought, "Surely what I saw was an illusion." But what a delightful illusion it was. As he walked home, he passed by a lake and saw 2 beautiful fish playing. One said to the other, "If not for that old chest at the bottom, we would never have escaped from that big fish that almost ate us. But that chest has been here for hundreds of years." The merchant, hearing this, realized that the story of the snake was true. Curious about the chest, he dived into the depths of the lake and found it. It was heavy and rusted shut, but he dragged it out with great effort, broke the lock with a stone, and was stunned to see it filled with pearls and diamonds. He took what he needed, buried the chest again, and returned home. When he told his wife he had found a great treasure, she asked how he had found it. He remembered the warning of the king of the Jinn and remained silent. She said, "No matter how you found it, I only hope you've learned your lesson. and will preserve this wealth." But he replied, "I gave to the poor, and my Lord rewarded me with more than I ever had. How can I not give from what he gave me? Do you not believe there is a just God in heaven?" His wife grew bitter, determined to keep wealth for herself. She warned him that if he continued giving, she would expose him as a sorcerer. Afraid of her accusations, the merchant gave up his home, gold, and wealth to her, keeping only the land where he had built a shelter for the poor. He went to live among the needy, saying, "Only good deeds and the prayers of the poor will benefit me after my death." His wife, greedy for wealth, built a palace like those of kings. But the earth swallowed it along with all her riches, leaving her destitute. Pregnant and abandoned, she was shunned by the rich but pitied by the poor, who gave her food and money. At last, starving, she begged in the streets. The merchant found her in misery, carried her to a small house by the shelter, and cared for her until she gave birth to a beautiful child. She repented and said, "Forgive me. I wronged you and wasted your wealth." He replied, "You are my greatest wealth, and our son is my soul. This simple house and our honest work will make us the happiest of people. Praise be to God for health, for it is the greatest blessing." And so they lived simply but peacefully, surrounded by the prayers of the poor and the blessings of God.